So the goal here, as we're here now at the plate again, using the same tools as you would use for the mound. You've got both the tamper and the rake. The objective is really for here at the mound and anywhere on the field is to create a flat surface. The more puddles you have, or the more low spots you have, the more puddles you'll end up with. And so we want to make sure that we're avoiding low spots in the area, and two areas that we really end up with, again, as we said, on the mound and in the batter's box. So what we're going to try to do is pull dirt from as many places around the backstop as we can to create a nice flat surface in the batter's box and not have a low spot. The right-handed batter's box typically ends up being one of the worst spots.
And you can see,
yep,
you can see right here how this is much higher than it is down here where
right.
The kids are digging their feet in.
Yep, kids dig their feet in, they'll kick dirt back this way, right? All fine, all good. We need to move it back in. So go ahead, Brian. So again, we're using kind of the tooth part, the part with the teeth on the rake to try to break up some of that dirt and get it to where we can actually start moving some dirt into that low spot. And then once he's moved up and got some of the dirt broken up, we'll start tamping it down. Backside again can be used kind of like to pull or push dirt around in larger quantities of dirt. Good, yep. Level it out. Pull that some back there. And then you can begin, again, just like with the mound, tamping it in and trying to make it a flatter surface. One more. Don't be afraid to grab dirt from the outside. You don't want to create another hole by fixing a hole. So getting dirt from as many places as you can to try to really level out the ground back here. Being also mindful that behind the batter's box, you've got a catcher and an umpire, both of which will also be setting their feet, moving their feet, and could create more holes. So again, the objective is to try to really flatten this area out. Something that's really important in this area is the rake. You really want to rake back here versus using the drag. You don't really want to drag around back here too much, and especially near the plate. Tape it down again. So already we can see from where there was a high spot here and a low spot here, this is starting to really level out. And that's what you want. That'll help with, again, same as the mound, that'll help with the longevity of the field. And when we do get rain, which we will, you won't have as many low spots that will create puddles. So what we're going to do now is we're actually going to put the batter's boxes down and the lines for the fair foul lines. The first part of what you need to do is, at every field, there will be a template, a batter's box template. And that will allow you to actually get the proper distance. Not all boxes, the boxes are, a certain distance from the mound, certain distance from the plate. And so using a template is important. What we're going to do here, once we have the plate, the template in place, is you're going to draw a line on the outside of the batter's box to make sure that you get the exact proper distance. What you're going to see once he's done this box is this actually flips over, and you can do both boxes the same way. So Jim, if you want to come in and draw your lines for
Hask
the template
Field.
at Hask Field here. So one thing to note again, this is solely just going to become your template. You're going to end up putting chalk over top of this template or over top of these lines. So this is just a guideline so that you can get nice straight lines and the box is a proper regulation size. Now one thing to note, some of the templates are made out of wood, some of the templates are made out of wrought iron. This is one of our nicer templates, right? So you definitely want to draw. If you've got one that's made out of wood or wrought iron or what have you, and you don't have a tool to kind of trace, it is okay to kind of step on it, and that will kind of create a line all the way around into the dirt, and it will allow you to still have a nice straight line. It is important when you're creating these lines. We're going to take out the line striper over here. Some of our line stripers, most of them actually will make two different size lines, a 2-inch line and a 4-inch line. You want to always use the smaller 2-inch line in the infield. The 4-inch line should not be used for anything you're doing on this field. That's for outfield lines, and so for batters boxes and the lines that go through the base, you want to use the 2-inch lines. So one thing I want to note that just came to mind as we're doing these things, you can see the effort that goes into putting in these lines. So coaches, managers, players, anybody who's on the field, it's really important that before the game starts that we stay off the lines, right? It's kind of an unwritten baseball rule, if you will. But the point is, especially for important games, championship games, what have you, somebody will have done all this work. And we want to make sure that the lines stay nice and that the field looks good to start the game. So really important. It's a kind of a coaching tool, if you will. Just tell your parents, players, coaches, anybody that's out on the field. Trust me, your umpires will already know this. So stay off of the lines until the game gets started.